There's one moment in everyone's life that they wish they could erase, or even fast forward through to make the pain go away quicker. But that's not how life works. Sometimes you just need to step back and slow down to remember that it was that moment that changed your life and made you stronger, even if it hurt like hell.
Hey, Zed here. It's been 75 days now. You know, since the dead stopped being dead, and the living started trying to kill everyone. And I haven't talked to anybody since day 25. I've been on my own since then. And I mean, at the beginning I was okay with it because people just slow you down and get you hurt. But now, I would just love to talk to somebody, just to get my mind off of things. But I haven't come across anybody who hasn't tried to kill me. Because now, when you run into somebody, there's less talking, and more stealing, and more killing. Which, I mean, it makes sense, but still sucks. All the decent people died right at the beginning of this, because they weren't able to do what they had to do to survive. Me, I was decent to begin with, but eventually, I stopped caring. And I started looking out for myself. And that's what you have to do. The loneliness is making me go crazy. I would give anything to just get out of my head for even 10 seconds. But I can't. And memories are just flooding back. They're playing in my head frame by frame. Feels like it all happened yesterday. Though the memories suck, they remind me of who I am. Because if it wasn't for that day 8 years ago, I wouldn't still be alive today. My name used to be Zoe. But one day when I left school, Zoe was never seen again. Zoe died. Because she was weak, she was scared, she was vulnerable. She couldn't take care of herself. And she was killed. But in her death, Zed was born. She's strong, independent, can fight for herself, and just completely amazing. But I had to go through the most painful moment in my entire life to figure out who I was. It was this scar that changed my life. But I didn't do it to myself. It all started with a boy named Devin. Devin, in layman's terms, was an asshole. But for some reason, he took a liking to me. I was an outcast. I had no friends. I didn't talk to anybody. But Devin, he went out of his way to talk to me. He would come say hi. He'd come sit with me at lunch. He would just make me feel wanted. But I kept my distance because something about him seemed off. He was rude to everybody. He was violent. He was unstable. I never told him that, obviously. I kept my distance when I could. But one day, Devin asked me out. I said no. I said, we can still stay friends. But I can't date you. And his demeanor changed like that. He went from being nice to being a complete dick. He would push me in the hallways. He spread rumors about me. He went out of his way to make my life miserable. All because I said no to him. He spent a while calling me Joey, which I mean, not a big deal. But he was telling everybody I was a lesbian. And girls started avoiding me even more than they usually do. Guys started laughing at me. And I didn't know what to do. And one day, I stood up for myself.
Hey Joey, what's up?
Nothing. What the hell do you want, Devin? And by the way, it's Zoe with a Z.
I don't give a shit.
What the hell are you doing?
Devin lost his temper and lost his freaking mind. He grabbed a piece of glass off the ground and carved a Z into my face. It was his way to remember that my name was Zoe. He wanted to take away any confidence, any self-esteem that I had. He wanted to make me feel like nothing. He wanted to break me. For the longest time, he did. He won. He left me covered in my own tears and my own blood. It was dripping down my face. I couldn't even stand. I felt broken. I felt completely defeated. I hated myself because I couldn't stand up for myself. I walked home with blood dripping down my face. I didn't know what to do. I didn't want to ask for help. I was too ashamed of how I looked. I didn't even tell my parents. I went home. I went into the bathroom and I sewed the wound shut myself. Oh my God. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Do you know how painful it is to give yourself stitches? I can't even describe the way it felt. I just couldn't bring myself to go to a hospital. My pride wouldn't let me. It took me about a week to show my parents what had happened. I covered my face with a scarf. I just said it was because I was cold. I felt like I let my parents down. That's why I didn't tell them. I went to school every day with a scarf over my face because I didn't want people to make fun of me. One day, a teacher made me take it off, and that's when everybody saw me. They saw who I was. After that, my teachers let me wear my scarf. But one day, I decided, screw it. I'm not Zoe anymore. I am not that little girl. I'm Zed. I can stand up for myself. I can live for myself. I can fight for myself. But I don't have to be scared. I had to figure out who I was. Because until that day, I didn't know. I thought it was going to destroy me. And at the beginning, it did. But I had to make the choice to let it wreck me or let it save me. And eventually, I let it save me. I felt stronger than I had ever been in my life. I felt like I could take on anything. I don't know why it clicked one day, but it did. And I am so glad it did. If it wasn't for Devin, I would have died at the very beginning of this. Now, Devin, after the whole incident, he completely disappeared. He ran away. He didn't tell his family, didn't tell his friends. He just completely vanished. He was a coward, and he couldn't deal with the repercussions of what he had done. There's rumors that he went underground, or maybe he died. Nobody knows, but nobody has seen him in 8 years. I've been wearing this piece of glass around my neck for 8 years. At the beginning, it was for revenge, just in case I ever ran into him so I could do the same thing to him. So I could completely and utterly destroy him. But eventually, that hatred turned to gratitude. I know it doesn't make any sense, but it did. Since that day, I've lived by 3 little words: fight or die. If I wouldn't have fought, I'd be dead right now. I've been fighting for the last 8 years. And now, more than ever, you have to fight to stay alive. You need to know who you are. And I do. My name is Zed. And I want to live. Do you?